Hello gamers, this is Brain from GameBrain.media, and we are going to look at Baldur's Gate 3. I'm about 15 hours into the game, and I wanted to show you the cutscenes during dialogue. There's a bunch of different options, like all RPGs. This game is really bizarre in its presentation of, well, in the game mechanics, and how you travel through dungeons with this top-down view or a three-quarter isometric view, and then have to take turns doing the battle thing. Those are the three weirdest things. Well, rolling the dice is kind of a... I don't like that little game mechanic either, but I understand this is based upon Dungeons and Dragons. The board, or the table game, right? The book game, whatever. So, here we go. You can like, I anticipate doing a playthrough of this, again, a year or two from now. 2 or 3 years, yeah, this game definitely has replayability. It's beautiful in 4K, it's spectacular. High def, ultra, whatever max settings are, I'm getting 60 FPS on the regular. Sometimes I dip into the low 50s when there's a lot of bad guys on scene, or I'm traveling through some terrain and it's like loading the next level. You know, I get a little weird. There's a little weirdness, but overall, not a single crash. And except for sometimes crossing into new areas that I haven't revealed yet on the map, and it unshadows the map, I'll see very minor stutters. But overall, dude, I am loving this game. I will play this game for years. I see 10 years worth of gaming here. I will own this game for the rest of my life, right? But for in the next 10 years, I'll probably play this game 2 or 3 more times, minimum. Potentially once per year. I don't think so, because I already watched a couple of, like, man, how should I have set up my character? How should I have selected my... I watched some of those getting started beginner videos, and what I wish I knew when before I played Baldur's Gate. And I watched those, and those guys are talking as if, well, they already played the game. So they take a lot of things for granted that you don't understand what the hell they're talking about. About this ability, that ability, and the little points scoring system, and the little character setup bull crap, and this race, that race, these magics, the other magics, the cleric, the wizard, the sorcerer. What's the difference between a wizard and a sorcerer? Apparently there's all kinds of difference, right? But and then you have the dragon master, or the, what are they called? I don't know, the lady that interrupts occasionally and talks to you. Yeah, dungeon master, that's it. All right, so anyway, here we go. Oh, my point was that in the future, I will make different selections, because I will never remember what I picked the first time, and I might come into this with an evil character intending to do all evil, and just go through here as a complete, absolute freaking mercenary. I understand that there's a couple of people... I saw a couple of titles of videos. I don't want any spoilers, dude, so I'm keeping myself extremely limited on watching any videos about this game that reveal anything. Right? I don't want to know. I want to go into that surprise like. But when I did go back and look at, man, should I pick a different race? How do I deal with these little point systems? I watched a couple of the beginning videos, but within the first 15, 20 minutes of those videos, I was like, all right, that's enough. I don't need any more. Because those guys were like talking over my head. They were telling me things to do that why? Why, bro? Why would you tell me to do this? What's the point here? And I found one guy who gave a really great explanation, but I have him bookmarked, and I'll put him in here and dedicate a little time to him, because that one 30-minute video by that guy will set you off. And long story short, yeah, I'm 100% buy Baldur's Gate 3. It's D&D style game. The rolling of the dice is bizarre. The turn-based combat, if you can call it that, is bizarre. The mechanics and the movement and the map and the overhead view and the 3D view and so many things about this are just weird. But so is the fact that you have spaceships and flying science fiction style spacecraft and characters next to swords, sorceries. I'm surprised they don't throw in some rifles, because the game's just that fucking jacked up with weirdness. It's a sci-fi sword and sorcery medieval cluster. So anyway, like, oh, in my searching for understanding the point system and how to stack my character and assign skills and all this well, it's not really, you don't assign skills, but there's not a skill tree per se. There is, but there isn't. If it's done differently, blah blah blah. It's character cards, character sheet. It's a piece of paper that you have when you're playing the game on the dining room table or a card table at the comic book store, right? So, dude, Dungeons and Dragons is a whole thing, and my kids played it, and like in most RPGs, you know, you really have to weigh the value of how you respond. and you'll skew the character. As I started to say before, and I completely go off track, when I was looking at those videos about how to assign my skill points, which isn't really a skill tree, blah, 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 I came across the statement, or the title, an honor run, or an honor character. So trying to go through the game, maintaining the highest levels of honor, not stealing things, and stuff like that. Now, you can also create a character that is hell-bent on being a thief. So they have high level of stealth, and they're sneaky, and they can steal stuff and run away. Now, you're going to gain a lot of coin, and I guess there are skills that will be increased in that, let's just call it a skill stack, or character sheet, or whatever the hell in this genre you would call that. But yeah, really weird stuff, man. I'm telling you. Boy, I tell you what. You know, can we truly afford to ignore a potential advantage? You know, I'm gonna go towards this one. Now, anytime I see some of the square brackets around, those are what are those called? That's not There's, let's see, what is there? There's background, race, class, and some other factor in the character builder portion. Do what I'm telling you. Just play the game, buy the game, fool around and find out. You're going to like this. And, you know, there's so many ways that you can answer these questions. You get a different answer. Sometimes it'll circle back and you get the same choices again, or the two choices you did not choose, and then you get to make your decision. So I usually go for that kind of investigative questioning or responding. But here I'm just going to say, yeah, let's go with that.
Some might say eels and turnips boiled in milk is a delicacy, but some are fools. I'll make my own mind up.
Okay. All right. Well, that's enough talking to her. See, here's what I mean by the top down. This in the game, if you press the O key, you will be wandering around on the top. This is your regular isometric view, and you press down on the center mouse wheel to rotate the camera, or you press the mouse button and your character will follow the mouse. Then you rotate with Q and E. It's just the weirdest mechanics I've ever dealt with. I don't care for it. But you can also hit the home key and then turn to where you're behind your character. And this is what I like to do, is I want to see where I'm going. So I hit that home key, I spin around to the backside, but now see, she's turned a corner, and now I got to reorient myself to the backside. I haven't figured out the page up, page down, end, home, insert, delete, the arrow keys, the number. There's so many freaking keys and ways. But here's the O key. Press O for overhead view. Now I can see the direction I'm facing. I can see two blue dots ahead of me in the minimap in the upper right-hand corner, and you know, I know that I'm. Whoops. I want to draw back, and then I want to click this way, and I can just click my mouse, and now my character is going to follow me. But at least from this top-down perspective, I can see where I'm going. All right, and now I get to the. Oh, she's the girl at the end of the hallway. And what's really also annoying is if you run your cursor off the screen at any point, yeah, it's just your character comes to a standstill. So we don't need the traveler's chest, and we really don't need to talk to Will, and we should just pet the dog. This dog has got to come in clutch somewhere throughout this game. You know, we're petting him every time I see him. He shows up at camp everywhere we go. I really like that. There's got to be something brewing with this dog. If not, well, they missed an opportunity. All right, man, so we are here, and I guess maybe some other folks are upstairs. Oh, that top of this stairway is a dead end. All right, so let's not do that. Let's go back to here. And I came back to camp just because I wanted to look at the map and decide where I'm going next. I got all these quests. Right, here's a bunch that are completed, but here's my companions and their particular story forks or things that their goals. Right, so the Yankee warrior chick is hell bent on finding the cache or the crash, the Gilf Yankee crash, and securing herself. Right. Then we got the Blade of Frontiers. He's after a guy named Karlak. We're gonna get to him, and Shadow, whatever her name is. The Daughter of Darkness, Shadowheart. She has a lengthy agenda, but then we also have to go back and finish searching the cellar and figure out how to destroy this ancient tome. Well, unlock the final part of it. See, I don't get this. I did unlock it, right? I read the book, unlock the book, the Necromancer's Apprentice. It's unlocked, But now I need to find a way to finish the Necromancy of Thay. So, man, it's just... There's tons to this game. And I really don't know which way to go at this point. I got a bunch of things left undone. I mean, I wish Shadow Cursed Lands. Let's go to the map. Do we see Shadow Cursed Lands? No. If we go back to the quest, Shadow Cursed Lands, travel to Moonrise Towers, but I don't even know how to find the Shadow Cursed Lands. That's my disconnect here. Is I'm trying to accomplish. I want to plow through these things, search the cellar, but it doesn't tell me where in the hell was that cellar. Was that in the abandoned village, or the, what is this thing called? Blighted Village. So if I fast travel to the Blighted Village, the game loads, and then I have to go back into the cellar. But you know, if I hit J, go to the journal, look at my stuff, search the cellar, destroy the ancient tome, unlock the ancient tome. We made it to the final page of the tome, but it's indecipherable. We need to find a way to read it. We managed to read most of the book, absorbing some of the necromantic power, but it snapped shut before we could finish. There must be a way to reach the end. Destroy the ancient tome. Alright, so, see, at this point, when I don't know which direction to turn, I will go and find a walkthrough, and I will try to keep it extremely narrow. You know, I'll go do a search using search.brave.com. That's my favorite, easiest to use AI, but you have to phrase your question appropriately. In BG3, you can abbreviate it, smart enough to figure out BG3 equals Baldur's Gate 3. In BG3, how do I unlock the Ancient Tome? Well, I mean, I've already unlocked it. Now it's, I have to find a way to finish Necromancy of Thay. So I should probably go in there and say, in BG3, how do I finish the Necromancy of Thay? Because I only want this hint, and I'm only going to watch like 30 seconds or a minute of a video to get to the turning point where it says, here's how you do it. All I need is a hint. Like if I see a statue in the background, go to the statue and figure it out. And then I quit watching the video. And if I have to, then I can always return, but, it usually works out. All right, that's enough of that. Bye.